Pregnancy can afford us so many reasons to worry. So today, I invite you to join me on the mat for a gentle prenatal yoga sequence that will help release stress and anxiety. If you're new here, I'm Marie, and I help expecting mamas enhance their pregnancy, rock labor, and love their birth. Let's begin with some gentle breathing. I invite you to place one hand over your heart and one over your belly and baby. This is a wonderful grounding hand position. And as you're breathing in, you might start to feel that just centered and grounded feeling. As you're breathing, see if you can feel the hand on your chest begin to rise and fall with your breath. Now take the breath a little deeper down into your lungs, almost as though you were just sipping the air in. And draw it all the way down to the bottom of your lungs. You'll know that this is happening because you'll start to feel that hand that's over your baby start to rise and fall with your breath. Imagine that you are simply rocking your baby with your breath. As you're coming into this practice, I invite you to let go of any future planning. So much of our anxiety is sometimes created by our what if scenarios. So for today and for this moment, I invite you to simply let all of that go. You may even make a deal with your mind that you can pick up those thoughts later, but for this next little while, you're just going to focus on what's happening inside of you. And now let's bring some gentle movement in. So I'm going to invite you to bring your hand just to the nape of your neck, as though you were kind of supporting your own head. Then with your other hand, just spreading those fingers nice and wide and bringing them across your body, as though you were just cradling your hips or your ribs. And that nice full breath, let's just bring that nice full breath into this extended position. And one more nice full breath. And then inhale and just stretch up. I like to make stop signs on either side. And then bring the other hand, again, just to the nape of the neck. This is also going to just create some nice openness through the side body, fanning out the hands and supporting yourself. As you're breathing nice and full and deep, you might like to take a moment just to remind yourself that you can support yourself. And just choosing supportive and gentle thoughts. Then inhale, stretch both hands up, make like stop signs, and just stretch those out all the way. You might even like to interlace those fingers behind your back, bringing the hand off of the back, lifting it, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Nice deep breath here. Good. And letting your head just gently drop to one side, then roll over to the other. Take a breath, roll back. And just repeating. Not only do we store worry, stress, and anxiety in our heads, we also store it in our bodies physically. And while everyone is a little unique, or very unique, there are some common places where we might store this. And the head, neck, and shoulders is a common place for stress. So that's why we're just spending a little bit of extra time in the shoulders and in the neck. Because the cool thing is that as we release that tension in the body, there's an echo effect in the mind. It's one of the reasons that yoga can be so powerful for influencing the way we feel. All right, then bringing the head back up. We're going to move onto all fours. You'll notice I have a blanket down over top of my mat just to give me a little extra cushioning. So you might like to grab a blanket. And we're going to start with some belly circles. This is just a super yummy movement. And let me just say that if your wrists feel really good like this is an awesome position. But if you get into this all fours position and your wrists are really uncomfortable, you can first just let the wrist kind of just go off the edge of your mat, like so, or off the edge of your blanket. That can sometimes help. If that's not enough, just go to an open fist like this. And that'll bring that, make it a little easier on the wrists. All right, so finding your position in tabletop or all fours, we're gonna start with belly circles. So I want you just to drop the belly down towards the mat, swing the belly over to one side, lift your belly up to the ceiling and over to the other side, and then let's just smooth out that motion. This is a really kind of sensuous, yummy, super delicious movement. So I want you to just kind of enjoy it because it is a really great, just kind of massage for the whole spine. So now that we've done this a few times, let's just switch directions. And from here, we're gonna move into a pose that sometimes is referred to as puppy pose. So I'm gonna leave my bum in the air and I'm just gonna stretch those arms out and I'm going to start to extend forward. My forehead might touch the mat or it might just float, and either is just fine. This is working on that shoulder extension that we were talking about earlier. Let's take another 2 full breaths here. Then let's walk ourselves back into a nice supported child's pose. So I'm going to bring my knees far apart and I'm going to set my hips down right along my feet, like so. So for this one, there are a couple of variations. One, it's just walk those hands straight out in front of you. Now you've got lots of room for your belly as it's growing because my knees are spread apart. And you're gonna walk those hands out, and maybe in your body it feels really good just to rest the forehead on the ground just like this. Perhaps though that feels quite squishy for you. So another variation is to bring your hands and to rest your forehead on your hands, or to create even more height by stacking your fists and resting your forehead on your stacked fists. And my very favoriteest variation is to use a bolster. If you have a bolster, wonderful. If you don't yet, check out my other video on how you can make a bolster with blankets that you already have at home. You can place the bolster under your chest, like so. Under your whole body, actually. Some women like this. I always find that I think, oh, how are they fitting their belly in? But I have lots of gals in my prenatal yoga class who love this version, where the bolster is really tucked quite deep in. Or the bolster could be, as I said, under the chest, like so, or under the forehead, like so. So just choosing which version of child's pose is going to be the best for you in this moment. The idea with child pose is that you'll know you'll find the right version because it should feel like this embrace, like this soft, gentle hug that you're giving yourself. There's something so soothing and secure about this posture physically. And once you're there, I want you just to breathe into your low back. Breathe into the belly. The low back and belly are another place where we often store our anxious feelings. And especially on that exhalation, imagining that your exhalation is just softening away any tension that may have built up. And even just the fatigue of life's daily demands. Just imagine them melting away. Two more breaths here. And inhale and come on up. We're going to move back to our all fours position. We're going to do a nice opener. Sometimes when we get stressed or we're feeling down, we tend to kind of curl in very protectively. So this is a nice opener. So I'm just going to lift up and extend. Now where this hand comes for you might vary. For some of you it might come all the way up. For others it might be right here. So just going to where you feel that really nice extension and stretch. Then I'm going to let this arm slide all the way through and come on down into a nice little twist here. Just to show you on the other side, I'm lifting up in a nice extension, extending through those fingertips. Then I'm sliding this hand through into a nice twist. It might be all the way down, or it might be somewhere right here. Just listen to your body and do what feels appropriate, feels good. Remember, we always want to play with that space where we're getting a beautiful stretch, but we're not straining ourselves. And that's even more important to think about in pregnancy than I think in the rest of your life, because in pregnancy, it moves, let's just switch sides. During normal life, non-pregnant life, you're kind of that edge of how far your body can go before you hit strain, it stays relatively stable. But in pregnancy, the physical changes are so great and at such a dramatic speed, really, that can change quite a bit from day to day. So I really want to encourage you to just listen to your body and how it is today, and be okay with the fact that tomorrow it might be quite different. All right, now that we've done a few of those, let's go into our happy puppy. So we're just gonna wiggle our tail. There's something quite joyful about this little movement. It always makes me feel like a little kid. And it allows your belly just to hang in a really nice, comfortable way. And it also just kind of shakes out any of that tension that might have accumulated in our hips. And speaking of our hips, we're going to move into a wonderful hip stretch. This is pigeon pose. So I'm just going to slide one knee forward. And the first thing I want to do is just kind of settle in. So I'm just going to do a little rock here, just kind of settling into this posture. Now, if it feels right in for you in your body and you want to go a little bit deeper with this hip stretch, you might like to grab the bolster or the cushion or the rolled blankets and just bring those elbows down here. If it feels okay, and depending how far you are along in your pregnancy, you might also feel comfortable right here. We're just going to breathe, remind our bodies that we're safe and it's okay to relax. We've got good support beneath us from our props and the earth, and it's okay to soften. Taking one more breath here. And then come on back. Let's go back to that happy puppy. Tapping in, hopefully, to a little bit of joyfulness, playfulness. If you have a toddler in your life, I encourage you to go do this one with your toddler, because toddlers are really good at tapping into joy. And then bring that second leg forward, same thing. We're just gonna rest down. Again, I always like to do a little bit of side to side just before. Just kind of ease into it. And then coming either down onto the elbows or onto the bolster, whatever feels best in your body. Once more, reminding your body that it is safe, you are supported, and you can relax and release. One visualization I really love is the idea of just surrendering any tension down into the earth. Trusting that Mother Earth will be able to transform it in the same way she turns coal into diamonds. Taking one more nice deep breath here. And then one more. And come on back to that happy puppy. Then we're going to move into a side lying position. This is a nice, safe way to twist in pregnancy that I'm going to show you. So I want you to just lie on your side, support your head with something, and bring both hands one on top of the other. The top hand is just going to gently slide up the arm across your chest and all the way out behind you. And then slide it on back. This is a lovely chest opener and twist. And if any of you happen to work at a computer, this is an awesome one to do at the end of your day when you're coming off the computer. So we've done this now 3 times on one side. Let's do that one more. Great, and let's just hold this for a moment, feeling that nice twist. And then we're just going to go to the other side. You can just roll over. I'm going to flip. As a little aside, twisting in pregnancy is wonderful. However, there are some twists that really should be or best avoided. I have another video on that, so if that's something that interests you, I'll link it down in the description box below. And just finishing with the open position. Nice full breath. And it's always important to finish our yoga practice with deep relaxation. So I'll do a quick one here, but if you have some extra time, then I really encourage you to check out one of my longer guided meditations. I have some specifically for releasing worry. I'll link those down in the description box. If you only have time for a quick one, just go ahead and lay down on your side right now. Just like so. I find it nice to have something between your knees and something underneath your head. Taking a moment just to let your body settle, softening into the supports. Allow your eyes to become heavy. Make sure there's some space between your back teeth as you allow your face to relax. Breathing down into the spine. Imagine that relaxation just spreading across the back. And all the way down through the legs to your toes. So that the whole body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes feels soft and supported. Taking a moment just to let your awareness drift down to your baby. And taking a moment just to stand back and wonder at the amazing everyday miracle that is happening within you. Your little one is growing without the need for handouts or classes, just following the wisdom that's built in to your DNA and baby's DNA. And right now your body is providing baby everything that baby needs to grow strong, healthy, and beautiful within you. And that's a thought that might allow you to drop a little bit deeper into trust and relaxation. And I invite you to choose to take that feeling of trust and tranquility with you throughout the rest of your day today. As you begin to bring movement back to your body by wiggling your fingers, stretching, just stretching in a way that would feel oh so good. And then use your hands to lift you back to a seated position. Perhaps sitting on a block. Bringing your hands into prayer for our blessing, bowing your head. Bless yourself. Bless your baby. Blessing each other and all the women bringing life into our world. Namaste. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to check out my other prenatal yoga videos. I also have lots of videos to help just with some of the common concerns with pregnancy and to help you have a much more positive birth. And if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, all those fun things. It really does help me out, and it's a little way that you could say thank you if you enjoyed the video. All the best, and see you next time.